Hi, everyone, and welcome to How I See, the Leica Podcast. I'm your host, Louise Goldstone, and it's a pleasure to be joined by Alex Dobé here at the Leica headquarters in Wetzlar, Germany. Welcome, Alex. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you so much. It's a real pleasure to be here also.
I just wanted to ask you to please introduce yourself, let us know a little bit about who you are and what you do.
Well, my name is Alex. Some people know me as Alex Très Cool on social media. I'm a fashion photographer. I've been doing that for like 13 years. I do any type of fashion photography, really. So it can range from street style, runway, backstage, but I also do, cover shoots, campaigns, magazine shoots. But I also love to shoot anything, really. So I can also shoot like design objects, chairs, horses. It's a really wide array of things that I love to shoot. I just love to shoot, period.
Yeah, I love it. Just focusing on the world of fashion photography, how important is it for you to be different in the world as a photographer?
I think it was one of the main things that was really important for me because, because I started as a street style photographer, so it's like street photography but for fashion people, basically. So shooting people, and it was, a lot of photographers, so the competition is huge, it's really big. And especially now with social media, with like the accessibility of different cameras, anybody can basically pick up a camera and becoming like a street style photographer. But it was really important for me to try and have a different style from everything that was seen, on the street style, which was really formatted, like really specific, really a specific style. So I try to change things a bit. And I think that's how also I managed to move from street style to, for example, backstage photography, because as a street style photographer, a lot of us are put in a box. So if people know that you're a street style photographer, they think that's the only thing you can do.
Yeah.
So I try to escape that box and, try to do more things and different things. And
Yeah. Looking back, when did you start taking photographs and where did your journey with photography start?
It started really randomly, actually. Nobody in my family had a camera or anything like this, or even my friends. So one day I remember I was at the birthday party of a friend of mine. And, I didn't really know most of the people there. So when it came to, can somebody take a group photo? I was the one, chosen to take it. And so when I took it, like, I don't know, something clicked in me and I was like, oh, this is pretty nice. And at the same time, I was, it was 2013. So I was on Tumblr back in the days. And there was this photographer called Agdala from New York. And he was shooting people in the street, but like outside of Fashion Week or anything. It was just like people in the street. And it was people like young kids that were really stylish. And he had a blog like this. And I was like, wow, this is such a nice idea. And I was like, okay, I want to do the same thing in Paris. And that's how I started basically going out every weekend, when I was not at school. I was just outside and trying to find like cool people, stylish people in Paris and take them in picture and then do like my little blog also in the same way he was doing. So that's how it started for me.
Yeah. That's incredible. I wanted to also ask whether you'd been interested in visual culture from a young age. Was that something that you were aware of before photography?
I think a little bit, but it was because of Tumblr, like you'd see different type of images. So there was really like a big fashion thing at the time on Tumblr. I remember seeing a lot of people that I still see today, actually. In the fashion industry. So there was like a lot of bloggers. So it's like, it was really, for me, it was really fashion oriented. I think that's how I started to kind of get into fashion. But I don't think apart from that, I was really, to be honest, I was really nerdy. I was really, I wanted to be a journalist in tech. So that's really different from what I do now. So for me, it came from there and then it took over, but that was not the original plan.
You spoke about street style being a sort of starting point for photographing fashion.
Yeah.
Did you know that this was going to take off in the way that it did for you? What was that starting point like, just going out and shooting, you know, and where you are now?
I mean, yeah, that was not the plan at all. I didn't plan anything that happened to me until now, which is a bit crazy.
Yeah.
But it's really nice because to be honest, I'm just living a dream right now. And I'm really lucky to be able to have my hobby, because it was literally a hobby, as my work now. But yeah, when I started, I was just doing it because I loved it.
Yeah.
I really like it. Was a deep, I mean, is a deep love for photography and, you know, taking anything fashion or more. But yeah, it was really definitely not the plan originally. I was just doing street style photography because I loved it, and I also had friends who we were, you know, this group of guys, and we were going out and taking photos, and it was just really nice to be with them. It was just like it never felt like working. It was just fun. Everything was fun. We were traveling, you know, going around, and it was just fun. And I think like all the energy that I put into this work became my actual job because of the passion, you know, like there was like a real passion and deep passion.
Yeah.
And that's how everything came around.
Was there a defining moment that made you decide, I want to pursue this as a career?
Yes, because okay, so basically I was also working at the time in an agency, and I was writing articles for them, and I was also taking care of the social media. So I was lucky enough to be able to, you know, when it was Fashion Week, they let me go, you know, I had this freedom to go and shoot while it was Fashion Week. So I had this freedom, which was really nice, you know, like without it, I don't think I would be able to, if I had like a regular job, it would be a bit harder, of course. But I don't know. I just think I came to a point where I was kind of tired of, you know, working, not working in photography. I was a bit frustrated. I needed to, you know, put 100% of myself in it. And so before leaving the agency, I was really scared because I was wondering if it was going to work. I was wondering if I was going to have, you know, jobs and everything. And it's funny because the second I left the agency, I had so much job offers. I had like so much jobs coming up. And I was like, okay, this is literally what I need to do, and yeah, that's how I left. And it was really beautiful.
Amazing. How does your personal style and interest in fashion influence how you photograph?
You know, I think like as the more you do this job, the more you're exposed to different style, different people, and then it influences your own personal style. So. And also Fashion Week, you have to imagine, I mean, when I'm talking about Fashion Week, I'm talking about street style precisely here. So you're outside of the show before it starts, and it's just so many people, you know, it's like extremely crowded. You in between the people that are just here to see celebrities, the people that are here to take photos, the people that are actually working, and the people that are invited. So it's like a huge mix of different people. And so you're inspired by a bit of this whole mess is really, you know, it's really impressive. And the people that I've seen are, some of them are really inspiring. So of course it's like, it kind of inspired my own personal style. And then I built my own eye when it comes to like, oh, okay, there is like 25 people that I could shoot, but like which one is more attractive to my eye than the other. So yeah, I think it builds, you know, it build up your eye, and it kind of shape it in a way that, oh, you are able to find what you want to shoot in the big crowd. And it really, like, honestly, like street style was such a impactful school for me, because it helped me so much with so many things. Like, as I said, like, you know, going into the crowd and immediately knowing which person you want to take, and immediately having this sense of, okay, I'm going to shoot it like this, I'm going to do it like this because there is like this amount of people around, so I need to go there and take this detail, this precise detail, and then I'm able to do it in like, you know, a fraction of a second, really, really quickly.
Yeah.
Which is really important.
You managed to find great shots in chaotic moments and environments. Have you always had an eye for spotting something in a crowd?
No, I don't think so. I think it came with the years of working in this industry and in the year of being outside. Because sometimes it's like it's way too much. So you have to it's like you don't have a choice. You have to you have to find a way to, you know, to shoot and to get what you want to get. So yeah, as I said, like this was like a really nice way to learn. And also, you know, if you're doing street style, sometimes you work for magazines, and you know, like Fashion Week is on 7 days.
Yeah.
And so each day you have to shoot all day and then go back home and send the photos to the agency. So the workflow is really tight.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a lot of photos that you take during the day, and then you have to edit and then send them the same day because it's a daily report that the magazine do. So also it helps you. You know, having this workflow, or you know, that you have to edit everything really quickly but in a really nice way. So it's a really it's a school that, you know, I would never have learned so many things and how to work so efficiently and so rapidly without street style, for sure.
Yeah. I think it's interesting because a lot of this chaos and movement and everything that's going on in Fashion Week does in some way translate into your images through the use of motion blur. There's a lot of motion and movement aside from the still moments. How does working with motion blur give you a different experience with movement and fashion runway photography? There's so much chaos going on in your environment, and that kind of translates sometimes into the images, but in a very beautiful and ethereal way.
I mean, doing blurry and then, you know, like slow shutter shots came from I did that in street style first. So I experimented that in street style first because, of course, I wanted to try and bring something different to my photography. And yeah, I think I saw it worked in the street style, so I was like, oh, why not trying that in the runway? You know, because the thing is also, I had the freedom to do it because I didn't have any client when it came to runway, and it was nice because, you know, it gives you a freedom. You can do whatever you want, which is, I think, is really important as a creative, because if you have a client, they want a specific thing, and, you know, like, so runway photography, it's really specific because it's really clean. It's like you have to see the clothes. I think that's the most important point of it. And so if you come and then you have this blurry photos, which is really like, it's moody, it's really like, it's really different. Some brands will take time to be like, okay, we can use this, maybe we cannot use this because, you know, it's supposed to be runway, it's supposed to be clean and sharp. And so coming up with it was really it stems from the fact that I was free to do whatever. I was free to experiment because I didn't have this pressure of having a client that wanted something specific. And I think that was that was really, really important. And I think it worked because I put so much energy and so much, you know, so much energy wanted it to work. Yeah. And, you know, it's it was really nice to see that it took the dimension that it took right now, because now, like, you know, a lot of people doing the same thing, and it's really cool, you know.
I love it. Incredible.
Yeah.
How do you learn to trust your gut and go with your gut instinct?
I mean, the thing with me is that I never really second guess myself. Like, I'm just someone that is just really like whatever, you know. But I think it's in a good sense, you know. I don't really question myself. Oh, why? Or should I do this? Should I do that? I just do it, and then we'll see what it leads to. So I never was someone who who doubt or who second guess myself. I was always like, okay, let's do it, and no matter what, and then we'll see what happens. But yeah, it was just always straightforward for me.
I think the other side of that is, how do you build your confidence in shooting street fashion and street style, going up to people and asking to take a photograph of them?
Oh yeah, that's a really interesting question, because I was always, so I was really shy when I started photography. I was really like introverted, really shy, terrified talking to people. But when I started like street style, and this really helped me open up to people, because I had to go and be like, oh, can I ask you like the question, can I shoot you? And for me, it changes like my whole personality. It helped me a lot. It helped me a lot. And yeah, it's just really interesting. It was really interesting for me to be able to do that, because it opened up so many doors that I wouldn't have without doing it, and forcing myself to talk to people, because obviously like creating connection and talking to people is like it's a really, really important part of the job. As a photographer, you need to be able to sell yourself, or be able to to contact people, and then get in touch, and then create relationship that people will remember you because they liked you, and because I think it was really important. So for me, it was capital for sure.
Yeah. I think something beautiful about your images are the detail shots and the close-ups that you focus on. How important are those detail shots alongside the overall vision of an entire look, for example?
For me, it's really it's part of what I do. It's for me, it's really important, because so it comes back from also the same way of, oh, I'm doing street style, but I want to do something different.
Yeah.
So me doing close up is the first thing that came out of this feeling. So I remember the first time I did it. It was, I think, 2014, 15. It was at the Chanel show, and the Chanel shows, there are always people wearing like so many stuff. I mean, you have so many details.
Yeah.
The logo, the stuff like this. So I remember, I think the first shot that I shot in doing a close up was this girl. She was wearing a Chanel belt, and I just did like a really cropped image of a Chanel belt, and that was the point where I was like, oh, this is really cool. I can do something with it, and it's kind of like went against like what you would see in street style, because the most important thing that was back in the days was to have a full look of the person. And it was really important, because of course there is like influencers, and you want to have the full look so they can share the post or whatever. But I never really cared about this. I never really cared about celebrities or influencers. I always wanted to do something creative with my photography. And so it didn't matter if you were someone important, like as long as, if I like your look, if I like a detail in your look, I'm going to take the detail, but not necessarily your face.
Yeah.
And it was interesting because I would ask someone to take a photo, and then I would only take a detail. And then later on, the person would be like, oh, can you send me my photo? And then I would only send the detail. They're like, there is no full body shot. And I was like, no, I just like this little detail that you had on your belt. So yeah, it's funny. But for me, it was one of the things that also made me stand out from the rest of the people, and that opened me so many doors.
Yeah. I would love to spend a moment just looking at two of the photos that you submitted for our Unframed segment of the podcast. And here's a very good example of motion blur in your work. Two women wearing exquisite clothing that I can see. There's light, there's dark, there's movement. Can you explain a little bit about this image?
Yeah, this image is an image that is really close to my heart, because it's I think it's the most me images when it comes to runway photography, and what I brought into the runway photography. I think it's really me. And this photo was taken in a Saint Laurent. I think it was spring summer 25, if I'm not mistaken. And this collection was absolutely beautiful. And there is sometimes where you shoot something, shoot a show in particular, and the clothes are exactly what would work perfectly with your style.
Yeah.
And this was one of them for sure, like 100%, because the clothes were a bit like shiny. There was like a lot of details, beautiful colors, and also the set was like dark. And for me, it's like the perfect setup. And I remember it was really funny because I remember one of the staff at Saint Laurent was like, "Oh, I don't really like this collection," and I didn't see it, so I was like, "Oh, maybe it's not gonna work this time. I'm gonna be like, I'm not gonna have nice photos." But then, yeah, those outfit came up, and I was like, "Wow, this is absolutely beautiful," and it works so perfectly with my style. And yeah, it was a really, I think it was a really perfect image that describe what I do when it comes to runway photography, because once again, the set was beautiful, the clothing were beautiful, everything was spot on for me.
Yeah, it's an incredibly beautiful photo.
Thank you.
And when you were taking the photos, were you kind of looking at them on the screen and thinking, great, these are going to be great photos?
Actually, I don't have time to look at the photo on the screen because
Really?
it's a runway, so you have to shoot every look that that works. So yeah, you don't really have time to look at the photo. Because it goes really quick and you have to shoot every single look. So of course I was seeing the looks and I was like, okay, this is really beautiful.
Yeah.
And I thought I was really thinking that it could be really beautiful, but then you're not sure until you're in front of your computer editing. So yeah, it was, I didn't really have time to think about it, but for sure I was thinking that it was going to be beautiful.
Yeah. It's an incredible photo.
Thank you.
I'll just go back to this other image of yours, which you submitted. It's a beautiful blue sky beach scene with 3 young children in the sort of shallows of the water, looking out in a line, stood together.
Yeah.
What can you tell me about this photograph?
I absolutely love this photo. So it was taken actually in last December 2025. I went back to my country, Ivory Coast, and there I was, I had an exhibition there, my first exhibition ever, and it was really important for me to, if I had the opportunity to do so, having an exhibition there and showing my work there, because of course it's like where I'm from. So during this time, so I did the exhibition, but I also went, to the beach because Ivory Coast has a coastline, and this was taking in the beach. And actually this day was a fishing day. So you had just fishermen going out on boats and then bringing like, how do you call that?
Like the net?
Yeah, the nets full of fishes. And it was such an incredible experience that I witnessed there. And it's funny because I was just sitting on the beach and I saw, excitement from afar. So I was like, what is going on there? And when I went, I saw like people with like huge balls of fishes, and I was, this is so cool. So I ran back to the hotel, grabbing my camera, and I went back and I took photos. And this was one of the photos of those 3 kids. They had like 3 baskets full of fishes, and they were just like, I don't know, sorting the fishes.
Yeah.
And yeah, they was just there and playing around, just looking out, and it was just such a beautiful moment. Honestly, I was really, really happy to be able to document it.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was just really, really beautiful.
And actually, in the background, there's the fishing boats that you can see just on the horizon.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think as you look into this photograph, there's so many more details.
Yeah.
And even though the subject matter is very different between these 2 photographs, there is a synergy of detail and the person and the moment, and it kind of comes together in your style. So really beautiful.
Yeah, it's interesting because it's like something different. It's not fashion. So
yeah.
But I also love doing those things. I'm just like a really deeply passionate person about imagery and in general. So anything that I can apply my style on, I would do. It's because I just love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think that photography is as much about perseverance than anything else, of pushing forward and on to the next thing?
Yeah, 100%. I think it's really about perseverance, but I think it's also about passion, because I think if you're not passionate about photography, it's going to be really hard, especially now, like 2026, if it just starts. Complicated. Complicated, I feel like.
Yeah.
Because there is a lot of people that send me messages and ask me how I came to doing what I do, working with those brands and everything. And I'm always like, first of all, I never imagined having all of those, working with all of those brands. That was never in my mind, like not once. And the thing that made me last that long is because I just love what I do, and of course I'm surrounded by people who also love what they do, and that inspire me every day. And so if you start by looking at the end of the journey and be like, oh, how can I get there? Then you're gonna be really frustrated, because getting there takes years.
Yeah.
It takes years, and it takes so much energy. It takes so much. So if you're already looking at the end, you're not gonna make it. It's gonna be really difficult to make it, because of course now you have social media pressure. Like, oh, I'm posting this and it doesn't work. Like, what can I do? And then your brain is gonna be clogged with so many negative thoughts. So it's gonna of course prevent you from having this freedom of doing whatever, and then finding what you like, and finding your rhythm, finding what you like to shoot, finding all of those things, which are capital for the development of an artist, of a photographer. So I feel like if you don't have this deep passion for photography, if you don't have the patience, because it's like a long journey. It's a really long journey, really hard. It's going to be really complicated, but yeah, you just have to, enjoy it. I think that's the first thing. You have to love it. You have to deeply, deeply love it. Yeah.
Yeah. Fashion Week seems to be you in your most focused and almost natural environment.
Yeah.
Was it always like this for you within all the chaos? Because now it's very natural. You're in, you're out. You've got your process down.
Yeah.
What was it like starting out, I guess?
When I started, I was just amazed. It was just like, wow, stars in my eyes. I was just like looking everywhere, and then everywhere I saw like crazy outfits, like celebrities. Even though I don't shoot celebrities, I really not interested in that. But when you see the celebrity that you I don't know, listen to or something like this, you're just like, wow, this is crazy. So I was just really like, trying to get, trying to soak in the energy as much as I can, and I feel like I was never lost in that environment, because that's how I started. So it's basically my my first time doing something related to fashion and to my job. So I was always like, I love it, like this chaos I love, I'm just like, I'm not lost. I'm just like, wow, swimming in like really comfortable waters, for sure. But yeah, it's funny because, I also sometimes work with like photographers that never did street style before. And I remember one told me his experience doing street style for the first time, and he was like, I don't know how you do that, because this is so chaotic. There is so many people like push each other, they can just like walk on your feet. They don't care, they can push your camera. Nobody cares. Like, how do you do it? And I'm like, wow, that's how I started. So for me, it's comfortable. I really know how to navigate those, those chaotic situations. And I just love it. It's just it's just my thing,
Yeah. You can really feel your energy through the screen, and especially in the project that you did with the Leica SL3 and the Q3 in Paris Fashion Week.
Yeah.
What do you like about working in this environment? What draws you to it?
I think it's the energy, really. It's the energy, it's the people that you meet. Yeah, it's just like, and also, you know, I kind of grew up in this thing with some of my closest friends. So it's just being around them, you know, it's just really fun to me. It's just extremely fun. And, you know, like, as I said, like, if you don't like what you do, and if you think about other things, if you think about the end goal, it's not going to be fun, because it's going to be frustrated, it's going to be depressive, it's going to be really hard. But for me, I never thought about any of the things. So it was always about having fun.
Yeah.
It was always about having fun. And yeah, just Fashion Week, I think it brought me so much.
Yeah.
You know, in a personal level, in a, you know, professional level, creative level, that it will always be for me something that is really close to my heart.
Yeah.
You know, because of course, I started with street style, and then I moved to backstage, runway, and then I moved to doing more editorial, like magazine shoots. But I think I will always come back to street style, because it's just my base, and it's just like where I get the most freedom. And yeah, it's just where I'm the most creative, you know. That's where that's just where that's my nest, you know. It's just like really comfortable for me. Yeah, I just love it.
What was it like having someone record you going out and photographing, because the environment is already so chaotic, and having someone follow you and film you and that whole process?
No, that was fine. I think street style, the only thing that can be annoying with street style, apart from the people that can, you know, sometimes be in your shot or whatever, but that's not really a problem for me, because I know how to navigate this. It's just the weather.
Yeah.
You know, if it's raining, if it's cold, that's just the only thing that can be annoying. But for me, like the rest, I don't really have any problem with it. Yeah.
Yeah. What does carrying these two different cameras enable you to do in that environment, switching between smaller, more compact camera to slightly larger lens, interchangeable system?
Yeah. I think like the queue is really nice for, you know, because as I said, like there is so many people, so hard to navigate. So having a small camera with that much of, you know, quality is just the best thing, because you can just like, you know, you pop it out and then you can shoot as much as you want and then pop it back in. So I think it's really like a question of how it allows you to move around these crowded situations and stuff like this. And then if you have the SL and you're shooting a runway, it's really good, because, you know, it's like something heavy, something that you feel, and then you're really stable with it. And then you have I had like a 24-90. Yeah. So this lens is like, it's just perfect, because when you shoot a runway, you never really know where you're gonna be. You know, because for example in Saint Laurent, shooting Saint Laurent, you're placed in some spot, but you never really know before. So 24-90 allows you to I'm comfortable in any situation. I can cover if I'm a bit far, you know, if I'm too close, you know, I have this, you know, this freedom of being anywhere that I want. So it's perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're always traveling for Fashion Week. What do you find is the most different between the cities that you photograph in? Paris compared to Copenhagen, for example, whether it's the fashion, the people on the street?
Yeah. So Paris, so the big cities, Paris, Milan, I would say, there is a lot of, you know, people that pass by and that just stop. There is a lot of people that come to just have the chance to see a celebrity, because in shows like Louis Vuitton or Prada, there is a lot of, you know, they invite a lot of Asian celebrity, K-pop celebrities, you know, so they gather so many fans around. So you have more of those kind of people around, where Milan, Copenhagen, it's a bit more chill.
Yeah.
Even though Milan is getting a bit more people, but yeah, it's like difference in the way people dress as well. You know, a lady in Copenhagen is not going to dress the same as a lady in Paris, you know, for example. And yeah, it's like different in also, for example, how late a show is gonna be. Paris is, really famous for being late, all the time. Whereas it's not the case in Copenhagen. Copenhagen is a bit more, things starts
Yeah.
on time. You're 10 minutes, 15 minutes
Yeah.
late. Where Paris, it can be 30 minutes, it can be an
Yeah.
hour,
Yeah.
So it's a really different thing. But also you meet different people.
Yeah.
Some people are nicer in some different countries. So it's like, it's really interesting to go and just see how people are behaving around Fashion Week around those
Yeah.
countries. I did Kazakhstan really, really recently for Fashion Week, and it was really such a nice time. And one of the difference that was really funny to me and my friend was that in the calendar they have a specific time for street style. So
Really?
at 3 p.m. it's street style time. So from 3 p.m. to 5, you have people outside to be shot street style. So it's really interesting because you don't have that in any of the other countries that I've ever been. So yeah, it's really funny to see the differences between the countries. Yeah.
Do you have a favorite city, or is it hard to say?
Paris. Paris in June specifically. It's just amazing because of course the weather is perfect, and then it's summer. You have people are outside most of the time. It's like light dressing. No, Paris during summer is just like one of the best, and you have so many people coming in. Like from the whole planet, so you can meet different people. You have insane parties, insane events. Yeah, it's really nice. Yeah.
How important is it for you within all the chaos and craziness going on to have peers and friends working in the same environment as you?
Oh, for me it was capital. It was capital because when I came up, like photography is kind of it's a lonely job. It's a really lonely job. It's really competitive, especially fashion in the fashion week in the fashion week scene. Like people fighting for jobs, people stealing jobs from each other. It's really competitive. So me having this group of guys was everything. It was really everything because I learned so much from them as well.
Yeah.
I developed as a person with them. It was just for me being able to travel also with them and not alone.
Yeah.
We can be really, because if you travel in different fashion weeks and you're alone, it can be really tough. It can be really tough at the end of the day. You're really, you don't have much energy, and like having those guys who energize you all the time, it's beautiful, and I'm so grateful for having this group of guys, and especially three of them, Goldie Williams, which is also like a beautiful, insane photographer, like inspiring me so much every day. You have also Johan Guerini, which is another friend of mine. He's a bit older than us, but he's really like taught me so much about photography. And the last one I can talk about is Marc-Henri Ngandou, which is also like extremely talented street style photographer. I think he came up with a style that I never seen before in such a long time doing street style. So having those guys around you, like inspiring you every day. Every day we send each other like tons of references, tons of things, where it's like fashion or design or anything. We talk about everything, and those are really intelligent people as well. So having them around for me is just like it's everything. I don't think I would be where I am at today as a photographer if they weren't there with me, for sure.
Yeah, so fascinating.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
I think that your peers are sometimes incredibly important just in keeping you sane on the day-to-day.
Absolutely.
And no matter whether you're working, it will always be that support
exactly.
that carries you
and
through.
And they're all photographers, so they know what it's like, so it's like you share everything. You share everything. Is just like they get you.
Yeah.
They understand you. And it's funny because those when we came up, we were this group of guys. We were cool. Okay, we're cool. But then people would be like, okay, but you're cool, but then what do you actually do? And then they would see the photos, they would be like, oh, okay, okay, we get it. and it's it's always fun because okay, yeah, we look nice, okay, we're trying to dress like the best that we can because we love fashion. It's not like it's not it's like authentic for us, it's really authentic. And the fact that you so people can be like interested by us just by how we look. It's also like a great opportunity for us because they would talk to us because you look nice, and then we can be like, oh, but we're photographers, like, this is what we do. And it's like, okay, your work is also really good. So it opened us so many doors that way. So I think it's really important to have the people around, and in this, like, of course, in this environment, in this like really competitive scene, it's like it's so important,
Yeah. Keep you grounded. Absolutely. Just looking a little bit more closely at the visual style of your images, why do you gravitate towards saturation and color, do you think?
I'm not sure there is a reason. It's just because I like it. It's just my sensibility, but yeah, I just always love beautiful colors. And also, one of my inspiration as a photographer is Harry Griot.
Yeah.
And he's like a master of like colors. And so I always like, I was always wanted to be also in that same, area of things where my colors are really popping and it's like really, like borderline aggressive, I really like this feeling where the colors are really popping, but it's just a question of what I like,
Yeah. Hard to describe what the exact reason is. It's just
exactly. It's
an
just
eye and what you see.
It's like something that's always been there. It's just how it is.
Yeah. Completely understand. You've worked with some huge fashion names like Vogue, Harper's Bazaar. Do these moments still feel surreal?
Yeah, because it's really rare that I sit down and then be like, okay, you achieve this, you achieve that. So of course sometimes I do, and then when I think about it, it's like it's crazy. Of course, it's like it's really insane. I've traveled for different brands, and it's like what the hell? It's like what the hell? And also I think one of the craziest trip I had was with Hermes, and we went to Hong Kong, and I was every single moment of it, I was like, what is going on? It's just so incredible. Because seeing where I come from also, because I'm coming from street style, which is like a really niche photography aspect. So, me coming from there and also coming from, the suburb of Paris, I'm not from the center, I'm from the suburbs, I'm from outside of Paris. So having this whole journey and, being invited in those type of things and working with those type of brands would always be something out of this world for me. Like incredible. I think I will never take it from granted, because for me it's just impossible. Those things are just way too crazy. Way too crazy. Yeah, for sure.
Insane. How did growing up in Paris influence the career or even your style, all of these elements? Because fashion is such a integral part of the city in some ways.
No, I think I was extremely lucky to be able to grow up in Paris, because of course, like if you love fashion a tiny bit, we have all the biggest brands that are here. When it comes to Fashion Week, everybody wants to be here. So the opportunity to meet people is tenfold. It's just like multiplied. So yeah, it was really a great luck, because I know some photographer from, for example, China, they're not able to come to Europe, because of the visa problems or whatever. So yeah, for me, I was always like lucky to be in Paris and to be, of course, in the center of everything. If when it comes to fashion,
absolutely. Have there been any really defining moments in your career that you think, wow, this is incredible? It could be a sort of small moment or even a sort of huge moment.
There are small moments where I'm like, oh, this is incredible. When people come to me and be like, oh, I really love what you do, like your work is inspiring. Like for me, it's like I would never have imagined that those type of thing would happen to me, because when I started, I was honestly, I didn't think I was a creative person when I started. I was just like,
So funny.
yeah, I was just like, oh, okay, let's try photography and let's see where it goes. But I was never like, oh, I think I can be creative. Like, oh, I can work with this or that brand. Like, it was never in my mind. I didn't think myself as a creative person. And so, when I was working, I was just like doing things. I was trying. I was really trying. So I was really trying to get inspired by different photographers, inside and outside of fashion, of course. And I was always being like, okay, I like this type of photography. How can I apply it to my street style photography? What can I do with it that changed my photography? So it was always kind of this train of thought. But yeah, when I started, I was like, oh no, I don't think I'm a creative person for sure. Yeah.
So interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
To where you are now.
Yeah.
When do you feel most inspired?
When do I feel most inspired? I think I really like the moment, after a shoot, when I'm editing a photo, because there is so many things that you can do, after you took a photo. You work the colors, or it can be like, oh, it can be warmer, it can be colder, it can be like, oh, saturated, desaturated, contrasted. So there is so many things you can do. So it's like a little recipe that you have. You can also crop the picture, and then you can find like, oh, so many different things in one photo. And I find it so fascinating. So that's why I'm like, oh, this is cool. What can I find? And I'm like, okay, what can I have this photo, what can I do with it? It's like, okay, I'm going to crop this. I'm going to keep only the eye. I'm going to keep only the hand. I'm going to keep only.
Yeah.
So it's like so many things that you can do with one photo that I really love. And I think this moment of editing is like one of the most satisfying moments for me. It's just like, giving me so much energy. It's like so so energizing. I'm like, wow, what can I find? I'm really like,
Yeah. Incredible. How do you continue to grow and develop in photography? What's that process like for you?
Getting inspired by everything, And I think that, explaining what you shoot can also be really, really nice, because I'm gonna shoot a chair, and then okay, I'm shooting this chair, and then I create new pathways in my photography. I create new ways of shooting something, and then I'm like, oh, but can I use those little elements to shoot fashion? Can I use those little elements to shoot horses? And so you shoot like different things, and then I think you learn something from all the different things that you shoot. So I think that's why it's important for me to like be able to shoot different subjects, and not only fashion. It can be architecture, it can be design, it can be animals. And I feel like you can grab something from all of those elements, and then use them for different type of photography. So I think it's really important for me. So there is that. And then of course, you aware of like all the different photographers that inspire you. Also like you watch movies, and there's different scenes and different stuff like this. So for me, it's always being like, okay, I saw this photographer, I saw this movie. Why did I like it? And how can I use it in my own photography, in my own world? So I think that's the point for me. It's really about being aware of what you see and being active, and be like, okay, how can I use that in my photography to to grow?
Have you thought about possibly putting your work into a printed format, possibly a book? Or I think your images would just look so beautiful in that environment.
I'm actually working on my first book right now.
Oh, it's so exciting.
I think it's been such a nice process. I'm working with my with a guy that helps me. Noam is really good, at organizing your photo, and be like, okay, this we can use as a cover, this we can use as a sequence, those images we can use as a sequence. And it's a really nice process. We've been to the printer, which is out of Paris, to see, like all the processes, all the, the colors, and etc. But yeah, I think that's a really nice process. And as my first book, I wanted to do something more general. So it's not only street side, it's not only runway, it's not only backstage, but it's a really wide range of the things that I can do.
Yeah.
And actually, the book is really personal. It's just me. It's me as a person. It's me also. As I said before, that I never thought I was creative. It's me also showing myself, hey, you can be creative. You can be, you're a good photographer. This is what you did in the span of 13 years.
Yeah.
This is what you accomplished. This is like the style that you created. This is, so for me, it's really like putting myself out there in an object, which is really crazy. When you think about it, I will have an object, a physical object of my image.
Yeah.
I think it's a really beautiful thing, and after 13 years, for obviously it's an accomplishment by itself. So I'm really excited about the project, and also showing it out to the world.
Can't wait to see that. I'm sure it's going to be absolutely incredible.
Thank you so much.
So cool. Thank you so much for talking me through your process and answering all the questions that I had for you. I have some quick fire questions for you before we end. So I'll start with, from today onwards, you can only shoot with one aperture. What would it be?
I would say 2.
Which photograph of yours changed the way you see photography?
I think the first time I used slow shutter speed, in a runway photography. I remember it was at the Gani show. That's really specific. It was in Copenhagen, Gani show, and that's the first time I used slow shutter on a runway. And I was like, okay, I have something right now. I have something, so I need to take that into consideration and really use it on different shows. So that was the first time.
It worked.
Yeah.
If you could go back to the first time you picked up a camera, what would you tell yourself?
Oh, never let it go.
Yeah.
Yeah, never let it go, for sure. Never let it go. Keep going. Keep doing what you do. Yeah.
And I just wanted to lead into the final question, which was, do you have a photographer or photographers that you would like to highlight and do you think deserve more attention?
I think one of my friends, of course, one of my closest friends, which is Goldie Williams, which is this incredible photographer, but also is also like a really he has a big personality, but in the way that you're attracted to him. He's like a magnet, and it's in the way that he has charisma, and he has like he's sure of himself. And it's funny because I think the opposite when I started. So being with him like taught me so much about how you exchange with people, how can you behave, and in social environment that was really socially awkward. So he helped me tremendously on that. So I will always be grateful for him and always be proud to be his friend, because of course he's like a amazingly talented photographer. So yeah, for me Goldie is just like he's one of my angels for sure. Yeah.
Love that sentiment. Alex, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. That was really nice.
Yeah, it's just been so wonderful talking to you and learning about your process. I could sit here forever. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks.